everyone, welcome back to Color Fox Reads. It's Shelby again, and today I was inspired to make this video about reading while traveling. I'm going to be off for a month-long trip in the UK pretty soon, actually in a week, so I thought, what books am I going to bring, or if I'm going to bring any books, and then I was like, I should just make a video on this, so here I am. So today I have for you guys a few book recommendations that'll get you inspired to travel or make you feel like you should travel, some audiobooks that you can bring, some ebook options, and a few tips for reading while traveling. So to start off, I'm going to recommend a few books. The first one being Eat, Pray, Love. It's classic, about a woman who recently went through a divorce, and she goes to India and Italy and Bali. The main reason why it's titled Eat, Pray, Love is she eats in Italy, she learns to pray in India, and while in Bali she falls in love. So that's a real classic one that really inspires travel. The next one that I have is On the Road by Jack Kerouac. And this is also a very cliche travel book. He and a friend travel across the country on a whirlwind experience, and there's just a lot of stimulating things that happen in this book, but it is definitely the most classic and for a reason, so I'm going to recommend this one. Another book that always gets me in the mood for traveling and, gets me in that real feeling of wanderlust is The Alchemist. I know I've talked about this book a few times, but this is about a small boy named Santiago, and he goes on a quest across the Egyptian desert to find a treasure, and along the way he just runs into a bunch of obstacles, and it's a fantasy, and it's just more fairy tale-ish, but it will definitely make you want to explore. So the next one that I have is The Little Prince, and this one is good for, just evoking that childhood sense of, wanting to explore and that state of wonder that children are in when they're exploring new things and adventuring. And this is very short, you can bring it on a trip, it makes you see the world in a new light, and it's very refreshing. The next one is The Hobbit, one of my favorites, and it is the classic tale of adventure. When I think of adventure or exploring or traveling, I always believe that there's a little bit of Bilbo Baggins in all of us, and if you read this, when I read this, I definitely want to drop everything and just go on a trip and go on an adventure. So this is one that I recommend to read if you want to go on an adventure, if you're feeling a little stuck or cooped up inside. This one is definitely a classic. So the next one that I have is A Movable Feast by Ernest Hemingway, and this one I feel is perfect for a summer vacation, or just imagine Paris in the summer, and it's about Ernest's travels and his expat life in Paris and all the wonderful writers and artists and people that he met and lived with during that time, during the 20s. It will definitely make you want to go to Paris, and it's just, his writing is so beautiful, and he has a perfect way of writing in short declarative sentences, but it's just so strong, so I should recommend this one to you. So the next few things that I want to recommend are, you can either read any of these books, like hard copy or hardcover, like actual physical books, because they're all fairly small, but another thing that I like to do is load them onto my Kindle and read them as ebooks instead, because obviously it's a lot more convenient to carry a Kindle than like 6 different books. So that's an option. Another option that I really enjoy if I'm traveling by plane or train or whatever is audiobooks. So a few audiobooks that I really recommend are just ones that I've either been listening to recently or ones that I really love. I'm going to recommend that you listen to Yes by Amy Poehler if you want something that's relatable and witty, and just she narrates it in her own voice, and being the strong woman that she is, it's just really funny and really witty, and I recommend it to everyone, but it's a wonderful book. Another one that is great to listen to is The Girl on the Train. I actually have the physical book that I'm reading right now. It's really good and fast-paced, but it will actually make you want to read faster than you actually read. But the audiobook version I hear is very good as well, so that's another option for you. Some of my favorite audiobooks ever, though, are the Harry Potter narrated by Jim Dale audiobooks, and it is just amazing how he captures the magic of Harry Potter, and his voice is just so soothing, and that will be forever my favorite audiobook series. So I recommend that you check that out. The last one is The Hobbit. It's narrated by Rob Inglis, I think, and I know I recommended the actual book. I'm just going to recommend the physical book, the ebook, and the audiobook, but the same thing with Rob Inglis is with Jim Dale. His voice is just suits the book so perfect, so I recommend you check that one out. And finally, a few tips that I've learned and that I've read, that I've picked up off the internet while reading while you're traveling. One is, if you don't want to be bothered and you're traveling, say, on a plane and your neighbor looks like they're chatty, if you don't want to show that you're reading like a bestseller book, just take off the dust jacket and they won't be likely to talk to you because they don't know what book you're reading. I always hop in headphones when I'm traveling if I just want to focus on reading, whether I'm listening to an audiobook or not. I always put headphones. If you don't want people knowing what you're reading, like I said before, you can just use the ebook version. So those are a few tips that I have for you, as well as a few recommendations. I plan on bringing a few books with me while I travel abroad. So yeah, let me know if you guys have any other tips or tricks or books that you love to read or books that make you want to travel. Let me know in the comments below, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! So anyways, those were the 4 books that I read this